Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone today? Of course, an extra special shout out to all those Crossroads witches and other interesting magical beings out there. Thank y'all so much for leaning in and showing your support. And of course, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, the notify, the like. I upload videos a couple of times a week on various mystical, magical subjects. And if you've got an idea for a video, please put it in the comments section below. And with that said, we're going to start this video on one of my favorite things to do, tarot cards. I have been working with tarot cards for almost 40 years now. I thoroughly enjoy them. They have become almost a second nature to me. And having to sit down and go through these notes really sort of refreshed me too. And I was like, wow, I think periodically we need to go back and read the book, so to speak. Each tarot card deck has its own book. So we're going to work on the assumption, the basis that you've already picked out a deck of tarot cards. If you have not, my number one hint tip is, please know who the creator, the illustrator of the cards is, their story, their energy. Why did they create this deck of cards? All right. That's always a good place to start. From there, make sure that the pictures, that it all makes sense to you. We live in such a wonderful time right now where it's almost overwhelming with how many decks of tarot cards there are. Some are more themed, some are more traditional, all right? And it's all up to you, witch. And I also want to say, everything I'm saying in this video applies to oracle cards as well. I love oracle cards. I had just talked about a couple of my favorites that I like to use. I have an herbarary deck by H.o.W. that after I stir my coffee, I pull my flower, my herb of the day, and sort of contemplate on it a little bit. That's where I'm at right now. You will find how you read, how you use cards will change, witch. You will have a season of, I'm doing it all this way. And then you just one day like, And you may change your layout, you may change your deck, you may change everything you're doing. That's okay. As one season ends, so begins another season. Now, I've laid out, this is a deck, it's called the Celtic Circle is the name of this deck. I have had it, probably about 20 years now. I enjoy this deck. It's always been a very easy deck for me to read. And I want to talk about what the deck, a tarot deck, consists of. All right, and y'all know, say it every video, I got notes. All right, and I lost my train of thought. Well, okay, I was going to say, first of all, learn the history of tarot and don't fall for the ancient mystical BS history. The deck of cards, the way we use them is modern magic. They do have inspiration and vestiges of the past, but this deck ain't like they were doing it 500 years ago. Now, the first thing I want to say, is you got your right deck. Okay, next thing you're going to do is get familiar with it and understand it. A deck of tarot cards consists of 78 cards. Talking standard, traditional tarot. I know some folks have put some different spins on it. All right, and don't worry about trying to sit down and memorize. Please don't start that way. Start out simply with understanding the major arcana. All right, it consists of 22 cards. Typically, it starts with a Fool. The Celtic deck here starts with the Green Man. And this first card is the card that takes the journey through. All right, it's the Fool's journey. This card, it's the Green Man's journey. In my herb deck, it's the Dandelion's journey. Become familiar with the symbolism that is being used by that creator, that illustrator. All right, now 22 of these, each has its own unique meaning. The major arcana cards represent significant life changes and events such as birth, initiation, change, and enlightenment. Very broad strokes, but understand this is your major arcana. All right, the next, the minor arcana. That is made up of 56 cards, which are divided into 4 suits. Depending on the deck, they may call them something a little different. Cups, wands, swords, and pentacles. My deck, pentacles are disc. All right? Again, getting familiar with your deck. That's why I'm like, most time there is a book that comes with a deck. Sort of breeze through it, read it, and then throw it away. All right? The cards that are numbered in the suit, like the 2 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, are actually called pip cards. And they are the numbered cards in the tarot deck. They range from Ace, beginner, to 10, completion. The pip cards represent the building blocks of the tarot, and each number has its own unique meaning. For instance, the 2 of Cups typically represents balance and harmony, all right? And if you look at the picture, it's 2 cups even. You can see the balance and harmony of it. All right, here, what's my next one? Oh, 7 of Swords. It means that you are going to have to negotiate a situation, potentially diplomacy. You may not really, be actively involved in the situation, whereas you're a mediator to a situation. And if you look at the imagery, you can see that picture. Now, the next part of the minor arcana is called the court cards. That's the Ace, King, Queen. And mine, it is a Knight and a Page that comes next. All right. These are a special set of cards in the tarot deck that represent people or personalities. There are 16 court cards in all. Again, each with its own unique meaning. If I was with, I just have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands means typically whatever you're getting ready to do is probably going to be successful. It can also mean a bright young man is coming into your life. All right. Now, as far as reading upright and reversed, this is a very personal decision, which many a magic folk I know do not read in reverse. They don't feel they need to. All right. They can pull from the lay without being in reverse. Other magic folk I know can't, they always read in reverse. They could not do it. It's like as the card is laid, so they read it. You have to make the decision with your connection with the tarot. Does it feel right to turn the card, read them all upright, or do there need to be that upside down downside so that you can connect and read the story, get the message that the cards are giving you? Both ways are right, witch. Don't be falling for what some of those fools out there trying to tell you how to do stuff. All right, and again, upright, down, reversed. All right, the tarot is a very powerful tool, and the way you're going to get good at it is the old-fashioned way, which you're gonna practice. That's really what you have to do, is practice. Also, with your tarot cards, you want to keep them in a good place, wrapped in cloth, or as you can see, I have a bag, and then I also have a copy of the Rose Cross, in which I printed out. I keep it in the bag with my cards as a form of protection, so that way nothing ever influences my cards. I keep them in the bag with the cross. I typically keep this little wonderful quartz crystal skull on top of or nearby my cards. I also like to keep 3 natural quartz points around my cards, and also when I'm reading. And I have another crystal that was blessed in the graveyard. I went and took it to the graveyard, buried it there for a while, and then dug it up and brought it home. I keep that near my tarot cards, asking spirit folk to make sure that truth is told. If I am reading cards for other folks, I will bring out my graveyard crystal and put it on my reading table, because I know that it just helps keep whoever's trying to get me to do a reading for them. It helps make sure that they're speaking truth to me. All right? These are all things I've learned over the years. Periodically, I do take my tarot cards out, and under a full moon, I will lay the deck out. I will sprinkle salt, asking for blessings, asking good energy surround my cards, protect it, keep my messages clear, concise. I say all sorts of things. When I am working my cards, I give a good shuffle. I take my left hand. I want that meat part, and I'm connecting, all right? And then, I will blow a breath where I take that deep magical breath and lay it on top of the cards. I may sit here and whisper to them a little before I'm ready. And then at that point, depending on my mood, I typically do a 9-card spread. I do 3 at the top, 3 in the middle, and 3 on the bottom. The association to the rose, past, present, future, all right, things above me, things below me, things I need to work on, things that are unseen. These are all qualifiers, conditions that you have already in your mind put on the cards before you laid them. All right, I typically work on, what's in front of me, and then this is me in the active row. The bottom row is things I can't see, or things in which maybe I should pay attention to. The center card here, a lot of times if I'm feeling really connected to it, then I know that I'm vibing center. But sometimes witches, I will connect like maybe to this card, and this becomes the storyteller for me, and it becomes according to these rows, whereas this card's not the center. Really, when you lay those cards down, stop for a second. Deep breath, exhale. What card is jumping? What card is speaking? All right? And if it's this card over here, don't be afraid to take this card. Move it over, put it in the center, work with it. I do not use the Celtic cross. It just never worked for me personally. If it is working for you and you are vibing on it, then please continue to do so. All right, if you are new to tarot and wanting to learn how to work with it, try pulling a card, seeing how you vibe on it, maybe Google it a little bit. All right, the next thing you may want to do is learn just to work with 3 cards laid in front of you. All right, now this is one of my favorite lays to do, where I lay down 3 cards, see how I feel. I will lay 2 underneath it, and then I lay down that final card, and this is most of the time my card of action. All right. And for me, this is where I'm sort of seeing what's around me, what's going on, you know, is how that lay goes. I'm showing you all the different things. You can also very easily do another really nice beginner's lay to do is 3 cards on each side. 1, 2, 3. 3 cards on each side. All right. This is what is in front of you. These are things that are behind that are not resolved. And this is you in the center. And again, you can assign qualifiers. This can be whatever you want it to be on each side. The important part of that is that you know that before you lay the cards. I get the thought in my head, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to do a 3-card lay, and I'm going to expand on it because I want to see. Or maybe I'll be like, oh, I need to know some stuff today. I need 9 cards down. All right, I have already mental note. I know I'm doing 9 cards. When I lay those 9 cards, I know those rows. All right. I hope this helps you, witches, on your journey with reading tarot. Practice, patience, practice, and don't try to memorize. Sit down and memorize meanings of cards. All right. I started working with cards probably 2 or 3 years before I ever actually read anybody's book. I would just pick up the cards and start using them and make up my own stories and meanings to them. For many years, I did that. You know, we didn't have, when I was a young witch, all the cool cards, the cool stories, illustrators, and things like that. You know, it wasn't uncommon for us to use just regular playing cards, to be honest. You know, if you didn't like the rider weight deck, you didn't have any choices. It was either that or playing cards. And I remember I had a witchy friend that like drew pictures on playing cards and made her own set of tarot. Now we have so many options out there that it almost overwhelms us and freezes us in place. So just reach out, 1 deck of cards, and see how it works. And when you get them, like I said, treat them like the magical, sacred tool that they are. And I guarantee, in return, you're going to find out a couple of things. All right, witches, thank y'all so much. Of course, if you like this, we have the blog up at houseofwitchcraft.com. We have a couple of different blogs up there giving you more insight. The Ultimate Guide to Tarot is available up there if you're interested in it. Of course, I'm going to tell you, if you're new here, thank you so much. And if you are a new witch, welcome home. Welcome home. There is a place for you in this community. Come on, witch. All right, y'all get out there and fly those brooms. Have a bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and avovo.